Last night, millions of people woke up in the dark. 3 a.m., maybe 4. They lay there, heart rate up, mind racing, calculating how many hours they had left before the alarm. And they thought the same thing you think every time this happens. Something is wrong with me. But here's where it gets uncomfortable. Your body isn't malfunctioning. It's doing exactly what it evolved to do. You're not sick. You're not broken. You're just living in the wrong century. For 290,000 years, human sleep didn't look anything like what you do tonight. There was no 8-hour block, no pillow spray, no sleep-tracking ring. And somehow, our ancestors slept better than we do. Today, if you wake up at 3 a.m., your doctor has a name for it: sleep maintenance insomnia. It's in the diagnostic manual. They can prescribe medication for it. But for almost the entire history of our species, waking up in the middle of the night wasn't a disorder. It was the plan. In the early 1990s, a historian named Roger Ekirch at Virginia Tech walked into the public record office in London. He was researching nighttime in pre-industrial Europe, not sleep specifically, just what people did after dark. And he kept finding something strange. Witness testimonies, court records, diaries. They all referenced something called the first sleep. Not sleep, not a nap, the first sleep, as if everyone already knew there was a second one. A woman named Jane Routh in 1699 described being woken during her first sleep by a sound outside. She said it the way you'd say, "I was in the middle of dinner." No explanation needed. It was obvious. Ekirch kept digging. Over the next decade, he found more than 500 references to segmented sleep. In English, in French, in Italian, Latin, and Old Welsh. The pattern was everywhere, from 500 BCE to the early 1800s. Homer referenced it. Pliny the Elder referenced it. A 15th century medical text advised that the time between sleeps was the best moment for conception. And here's the part that most people miss. Between the first and second sleep, people didn't lie there panicking. They got up. They talked. They prayed. They had sex. They tended their fires. They smoked pipes. They did chores. In French, the period had a name: dorveil, the watch. In Latin, concubia nocte, the midnight rest. This wasn't a quirk. This was the rhythm of human existence for nearly every person in nearly every culture for thousands of years. Then, it vanished. Think about that. Something every human being experienced every single night, gone. Not because our bodies changed, because our world did. So what happened? And why does your body still remember something your mind has never been told? In 1993, a psychiatrist named Thomas Ware at the National Institutes of Health ran an experiment. He confined volunteers to 14 hours of darkness per day, mimicking the long winter nights that humans lived with for hundreds of thousands of years. No electric lights, no screens, just darkness. For the first 3 weeks, nothing unusual happened. They slept in one long block, like you do. Then something shifted. Around week 4, their sleep spontaneously split. 2 distinct blocks, each about 3 to 4 hours, separated by 1 to 2 hours of quiet, calm wakefulness. No anxiety, no restlessness, just awake and peaceful. Their bodies had remembered. Now pause for a second. This isn't just a historical curiosity. There's a mechanism running underneath, and it explains everything about what happens to you at 3 a.m. Here's how segmented sleep actually worked. The first sleep begins roughly 2 hours after dark. Deep, restorative. Your body repairs tissue, consolidates memory, releases growth hormone. You wake naturally after 3 to 4 hours, not because something interrupted you, but because the cycle completed. Then, the watch. 1 to 2 hours of low cortisol, low anxiety wakefulness. Your prolactin levels peak. You're conscious, but in a state that modern sleep researchers describe as borderline meditative. Then the second sleep, lighter, more dream-rich, until dawn. This is what your nervous system is designed for. So what killed it? Light. Gas lamps appeared in the 1790s. By the 1830s, city streets were lit through the night. The electric bulb arrived in the 1880s. And the Industrial Revolution didn't just give us factories, it gave us the clock. The 8-hour workday required an 8-hour sleep window. There was no room for the watch anymore. You were either working or you were unconscious. Within about 150 years, two sleeps became one. And the space between them, that calm, natural, biologically programmed period of wakefulness, became a disease. Your great-great-grandparents' sleep was dismantled, and then you were diagnosed with the symptom of its absence. But there's another side to this story that almost nobody talks about. The real damage isn't that you wake up, it's what you do when you wake up. When you wake at 3 a.m. in a dark room, your body is completing a cycle that started 290,000 years ago. It's not confused, it's not broken, it's trying to enter the watch. But you don't know that, so you check the clock. You calculate 4 hours till the alarm, 3.5, 3, and your cortisol spikes. Your sympathetic nervous system activates. You've now turned a natural rhythm into a stress event. The anxiety you feel isn't the wakefulness, it's the judgment of the wakefulness. You think something is wrong, so something becomes wrong. The cycle feeds itself. For 290,000 years, the person who woke up in the middle of the night wasn't a patient. They were the most valuable member of the group. They watched the fire. They listened for predators. They proved they were reliable. The watch wasn't a problem to solve. It was a role to fill. That impulse is still running. When you wake at 3 a.m. and feel that strange pull to just be awake, not scrolling, not worrying, just present. That's not insomnia. That's your body trying to complete a cycle that artificial light and the 8-hour workday interrupted 150 years ago. You've been told your entire life that waking up in the middle of the night is a symptom, something to fix, something to medicate. But for most of human history, it was the healthiest thing your body did. The only thing that changed is that we stopped having time for it. You don't have a sleep problem. You have a 19th century solution to a 300,000-year-old design. And the only thing that broke it was the light bulb.